Hi, and welcome back to the Transform You podcast with me, Paula.
Today we are back doing a wee girly chat episode.
Yes, we have some questions from the gals
We do.
sent in via Instagram. So thank you very much, everyone, for sending them in. And as always, we always will keep it anonymous.
Yes.
We're trying to build that trust for you, so you know.
Why?
Because we kind of get that at first. It's like, why would I ask these? Well, I don't trust them yet.
Who are they, gals?
I know we think we know it all. We don't. All we can do is tell you our advice from our experiences.
Exactly.
Aye.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's get started. We'll just get right into it.
Let's jump in.
Question one, let's go. Okay, so this is quite long, so bear with me.
Okie dokie.
Okay, I introduced two of my best friends, one being my ride or die, Kirsty, for the sake of being anonymous, and the other being a girl I knew from primary school, but had just started to develop a friendship with her about 2 or 3 years ago. Let's call her Abby for talking's sake. Okay, so we've got Kirsty, who is ride or die, and then we've got Abby, who then comes into the mix, right? We were a trio for a while. Long story short, Abby and I had a falling out and no longer speak. She called me some really horrible names and really attacked my personality, unprovoked in my opinion, as she never actually told me what it was that I had done to make her feel this way. Okay, so
Okie dokie.
that then goes on to Kirsty and Abby continue to be friends, see each other all the time. They're always posting it all over social media. I now hardly see Kirsty anymore, and it's really affecting me as she is my true best friend. I feel like if she was a true best friend, though, she wouldn't speak to Abby anymore, as I know I would do this for her. Sorry, I know this is very long-winded, but would appreciate any help on dealing with this. So there's a few things going on here.
Oof.
Right, let's start with the fact that Abby was calling you horrible names and attacking your personality unprovoked.
Yeah.
If that is, what from what you're saying, if it was totally unprovoked, even if it was, right, why are you calling somebody who's supposed to be your pal names?
I'll never understand that.
And attacking their personality, yeah. So let's just start with that. If this Abby character has done that, you need to question, would I even want to be pals with her again? I mean, I'm not sure if you do. I don't know if it's a trio or if it's just Kirsty you want to be pals with, right? But
I get a feeling it might just be Kirsty.
Kirsty.
But yeah.
What I would always say though is things like this, the key is communication. So if it was left unresolved between yourself and Abby and you're kind of like, I don't know what happened there, I would need some clarity in that. I know that can be really hard, but I feel like communication is key. And it's more just for you to understand what happened. And maybe you never know if someone's actually said to her that you were bitching about her behind her back or something like that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there might be someone else.
It's kind of like clear it up because, there could be someone else in there mixing the pot, maybe Kirsty.
Right.
So, I would say I would try and get clarity in that situation, or even ask Kirsty her opinion on the situation. I assume maybe you guys have spoke about it. I don't know. And then you've said, right, so let's go back to this message. So there was that part which I was kind of a bit like, oh, okay. But the fact that you're saying that they guys are now seeing each other all the time and
posting it on social media.
Yeah, and it's obviously affecting you. Have you actually reached out to Kirsty to try and arrange meeting up with her? Because I feel like sometimes if something's happened, you can kind of get a bit stubborn, like biting your own nose off to spite your face, that saying.
Yeah.
Where you're like, well, I'm just not going to bother anymore. Like, so if you are doing that, maybe that's a bit of self-sabotage there. I would reach out to Kirsty and just be like, hey, gal, not seen you in a while. Do you want to meet up for a coffee?
Yeah.
Hey, gal, not seen you in a while. Do you want to come over to mine's for a cup of tea? Like, just that initial reaching out to her to see how it goes. Sometimes people do that. They just...
If it's different,
then
that's where you can sort of gauge and see
what's been going
happening.
on.
And if there's a change in the friendship.
And if there is, though, if you're thinking, okay, there's weird vibes here, I would just always ask. Like, so if it was you, for example, and I'd invited you over after not seeing you for a while and you were hanging about with just you and Megan, if we'd had a falling out, right? And I was sensed weirdness, I'd be like, is everything all right? Like, can we talk about what happened? I'm like, I would say bring your own feelings into it. So don't make it out like yours two have been bitches and not inviting me out. Like, let them know, or let Kirsty know how you're feeling about it. So I would maybe say, listen, I'm feeling actually really quite upset about what's happened. Like, you mean a lot to me. You're my best pal, and I just don't want anything to get in the way of that because I really value our friendship. So it's like letting go of that ego a wee bit as well, into like being vulnerable and just telling your pal how you feel.
And see if you don't get the reaction or the answers that you want, which is like Kirsty wants to be friends with you.
Yeah.
Like continues to be the ride or die, and sort of lets Abby go and distances herself from Abby. If you don't get that, I honestly say cut the cord.
So you think if Kirsty still wants to be pals with Abby as well as this other girl, you think you would cut the cord?
I think you have to have an open and honest conversation about it. And if she continues to sort of play both sides,
Yeah.
depending on why Abby has said all these things.
Yeah.
It's hard depending on why Abby is because at the moment we don't really know why Abby is talking.
See, I kind of disagree with that, because what I would say is, and Nelia's not right and I'm not right. I'm just saying, for me, what I would say is, so you're saying here, I hardly see Kirsty anymore and it's really affecting me. If she was a true friend, she wouldn't speak to her anymore as I would do this for her, right? For me, maybe I would have been like that in the past. However, you can't control what someone else is
What
doing,
other people
right?
are doing.
And you also can't expect someone to do something because that's your expectation, right? So if you're saying that's what I would do, just because that's what you would do doesn't necessarily mean that's what is right. And that's hard to take, right? And it's like that whole thing of, we've discussed this before, like we have said before, the things we would do for people we don't get in return. But see, as long as you know you're being true to yourself and you're doing that, like, so that's a boundary for you. And that's something maybe that is morally right for you, that if someone done that to my pal, I wouldn't speak to them. However, what I would say is, maybe your pal Kirsty is thinking, well, do you know what? Maybe she can see it from both sides, and you might not like to hear that.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
I would say that I'm quite a diplomatic person like that, and I would always try and see things from both sides. Fair enough if just out the blue, Abby's been a total cow and it's just like turned on you. Like, I just always feel like people's behaviour is for a reason. That's what I've always found, even if you don't like it. So even if it's something terrible that's happened, so I'm trying to think of an example. Like on a night out I've been on, one of my pals has turned, you know, with a drink in her, said some really nasty things. I mean, I've even done that in the past. But then the next day it's like, oh shit, I wish I never said that. And it's allowing that person to kind of explain themselves. But then I wouldn't...
Giving them the space to do that.
Yeah, that's it. And I don't really fall out with people, so maybe that's what's wrong with me. Maybe that's some sort of like issue I need to work on. Like, I'm like very attached to people. But I think it's because I just think there's a reason for things.
Yeah.
There's always a reason for something.
I love that about you.
Thank you.
I love it. So good.
But yeah, do you see where I'm coming from?
Maybe cutting the cord is too harsh, but I think...
But maybe it's not if...
For me, I just think sometimes wasting my... Not even wasting, just spending a lot of my energy on trying to fix something and trying to spend all that energy on a relationship that the other half of that relationship is not spending.
Yeah. And that's what you need to evaluate as well. You're like, okay, am I the only one here that's making effort?
Exactly.
And if you are, then that's not good, because that is, like you say, you only have so much precious energy to give. Yeah. And if you're constantly giving that and not getting anything back, like, I would say that.
So I think reach out to Kirsty,
communicate,
go for a coffee, have a cup of tea,
do
something. But if you do that and she sort of, it's weird vibes, and she doesn't reciprocate that and invite you out for a coffee or go to the cinema or hang out or you know, whatever you guys like to do together, then I think you sort of let it fizzle. Yeah. If you know what I mean. Sometimes you have to.
And it's like we spoke about in our friendship episode, sometimes friendship breakups are just as hard as any other breakup.
Yeah. And also sometimes friendships can go through seasons.
Yeah, that's right.
You
They
know,
can.
it doesn't mean that that's it completely ended. It
Yeah.
can just go through a season. Maybe you never know what people are going through behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's so true.
And I think going back to what you're saying, you try to see it from both sides. I do try to do the same as well. And sometimes I just have to go, I don't know what that person's going through behind closed doors.
And if they're not willing to communicate with me on that, then
Yeah. But I also don't have the space to deal with that
yeah.
in my life. So I'm here for them if they want to come to me, but
Yeah.
they're not at the moment. So I just have to go on and live my life.
I suppose you also don't know what this girl Abby is saying to Kirsty as well.
Yeah.
So there's it's quite heavy loaded because you
is.
don't know the sort of ins and outs. But what I would always say is before you cut the cord with anything, I would always try and find out.
Start with communication first.
Always, like, I feel like in any relationship, the breakdown of it is always communication based.
Yeah.
Always, always, always. And if people aren't having open, honest conversations, then it is going to break down. And actually, as well, something that I like to do, again, you might be like, fuck off, Paula. I just forgive people.
Yeah.
So I get that maybe this girl Abby's been really nasty to you and maybe said things that you feel are unforgivable. But I feel like when I hold on to resentment like that, I feel so much worse.
Some of the happiest people on the planet are people that just forgive.
Yeah, and they've had a lot of shit happen to them.
Some of the worst things.
Can I just say it's really freeing to just forgive people? And it doesn't mean to say you forget. And it doesn't mean to say that actually I don't feel upset about this, because totally you should. Like if someone's done something to you and made you feel upset, of course you have a right to feel like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, forgiveness in the terms of there's no bitterness there's no resentment, you're not holding on to anything. It just makes you feel better.
You don't let it rule your life anymore.
That's it. And it just means that if they two do continue to hang out, and maybe if you need to be in each other's company in the future, then you're all right with it, because you're just like, well, I know that I'll never be best pals with her again. And that's forgiveness, is forgiving that other person for your peace. It's not to do with them. It's about you. And I always think, bring it back to that. I'm doing this for me. And it doesn't mean that you ever need to be pals with her again. Same with like if it's like a fucking toxic ex or something, like, you know that? It's like you will forgive whatever's happened because it's for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you're ever going to speak to them again.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I also think for the girl that wrote in, spend some time on yourself.
Yeah.
Because this is like when you go through, I've been through similar
Yeah,
things
you
to
have.
this many a time, and also quite recently. When you go through it, it's heartbreaking and it's really hard, and it takes over your life. It takes over your headspace.
Yeah, it does.
And you need to just spend some time on yourself, and you need to give yourself self-love and do things for you, because you spend so much of your time just on social media seeing people.
Yeah.
And you'll be watching Kirsty and Abby just spending all their time together, and you'll be like, well, why? And you get upset and you get yourself worked up, and you'll be for me anyway, I was just at home, you know, sat on my sofa, and I'm like, well, they're hanging out. I wasn't invited. And
it's not nice.
And it's horrible, and you feel left out and you feel bullied, and it's a horrible place to be in. And what helped me was pushing myself out of my comfort zone, getting myself out, doing things for me.
Yep.
And that helps that process.
And take it as an opportunity to maybe go and try things or meet new people.
Exactly.
If it doesn't go the way if the conversations and everything you try doesn't go the way you want it to go, use it as a time to actually be like, reinvent yourself.
Exactly.
Break down to break through.
Break down to break through. Use it as an opportunity.
Yeah.
Use this time for you.
Hopefully it does go well with a wee bit of open communication and sitting down and discussing and telling people how you feel. Hopefully that does go well. But if not, that's good advice.
This could you need to communicate, because also Kirsty and Abby could be sitting down together saying, oh, she's not speaking to us. Yeah. Why is she not speaking to us?
That's the thing. No one's mind readers. No one is mind readers. Always remember that.
It could be something like that. I've had situations in the past with two of my friends, and I thought the three of us thought we'd all fallen out with each other. And I thought they two had fallen out with me and they thought I'd fallen out with them.
Aye.
And it was all because none of us had communicated. And then one day...
Happens all the time. Yep.
We all went out for dinner and I was like, why are you upset with me? And they said, why are you upset with us? And I was like,
I'm not.
What's happened? And nothing had happened. Yeah. One day we were all just scunnered. So we were all just scunnered.
And it goes
just woke
silent.
up in a bad mood.
Yeah.
So we all just thought we were pissed off with each other.
You know, that happens all the time. Happens,
and
like...
it turned into this like three
Aye.
week long saga of us just being fucking silent and ignoring each other. And then we just sat down at dinner like, what the fuck
What
are we
happened?
doing? So it could be, honestly, to this girl, it could be something as simple as that.
How many times has that happened in life, though?
I know.
It's like you think you can read someone's mind. They think they can read
Exactly.
yours. And it's actually just, it can be solved so quickly
With
communication.
Exactly.
Okay.
So start with communication.
Communication is key.
That's a word of wisdom.
Okay. Hopefully that helps you, Hen. Let's get on to our second question is... Sorry, we've not even looked at these yet. Right, okay. Oh, any advice on ways to relax instead of just doom scrolling on your phone for hours? Oh dear. Okay. Oh dear. Let's just give this a wee...
We've all been there, Hen.
Doom scrolling. So why are we doom scrolling? Let's begin with that. We do that because it's a quick fix of dopamine. So if you're sitting, scroll, your brain's like, oh, dopamine.
Mm-hmm.
But the more you do that, the longer you do it, the less of a hit you get. So then you end up scrolling for fucking hours.
For longer.
Okay, we're all guilty of it.
Yep.
But what I will say is I have time limits set on all my apps.
Mm-hmm.
So an hour, and then it notifies you. And then if you want to go back into that app, it pops up time limit.
Mm-hmm.
And you can choose to override that or not, right? So if I find that I'm doom scrolling, that comes up. I'm like, oh shit, I've wasted an hour of my life on this fucking phone. TikTok is really bad for it. What I'll do is I'll scroll and I'll put that to myself, like, put that down. Scroll. And I actually just do a time limit in my head. I go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're standing up and you're moving. I need to physically get up and move. It's like, so if you know, you've set the limits and all that and you can't behave yourself, then literally just say to yourself, stand up and move. Put the phone down, stand up and move, and I'll go and do something.
What app do you use?
It's just on your iPhone, so you can go in and it's like
That's quite good.
just time limit thing.
Oh.
Hold on, it's in your settings.
I use an app called Opal.
Oh, and what does that do?
It's quite similar, but it will just block. It's a bit
so you
more
can't
hardcore.
override it, right? Well, that's good
Yeah.
though. So
It's quite hardcore.
if you're weak-willed, then get on that.
Yeah.
You can also, what I do is I get notifications quite regular about my screen time because it scunners me. See if I see it's up at like 5, 6 hours.
Yeah.
That's a full shift at work.
I know. It's also hard, by the way, because we have to use our phones for work.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So
see, when you get your screen time, it stunners me.
see if I know that it's being productive, I don't feel as bad, but I'm not productive on TikTok. That's when I would be upset.
I know, because if I'm posting on TikTok, you literally just have to press post. You edit the video
that's
and
it.
post.
Post that shit.
But then once it's posted, you then scroll. It's so bad.
But also another thing, set your phone on do not disturb. Anybody who knows me knows my phone is 24/7 do not disturb. And people crack up with me, but it stops me from, like, as soon as you hear that buzz, your brain is such in the habit that it goes, oh, quick, better get that.
Because how many times when you're so if I'm at like Gals Night or something and one person's phone buzzes or pings, everyone goes to grab their phone and look at it. And you're like, oh my God.
It's very addictive.
It's so addictive.
There's so many studies. I was reading a book the other day about it, and there's loads of podcasts and stuff that talk about it. It is just as addictive as like food, drinking, gambling. Like it is. And actually maybe they're saying it could be more dangerous because it's just there constantly. It's 24/7. We're all got a fix.
Yeah.
You know, when you're walking down the street, people are like fucking glued to their phones. Like People don't speak to each other at bus stops anymore. People don't even speak to each other in supermarkets because it's like that discomfort because they're so glued to their phone.
I know. But see, like using these apps and
that's really good.
Even if you do override it and you do those things, it gives your brain a nudge.
It does. It really does.
Compared to just not using them at all.
Yeah.
And just blindly and mindlessly just scrolling. At least it's nudging you to go, oh wait, hold on, I'm actually spending quite a lot of time here.
Yeah.
Even if you override it.
And see if
and
you
that's
are
consciously, every time you're doing it, you're going, oh wait, hold on. And next time it nudges you, you might be like, maybe I'll not do that. The more reminders you get,
no, it is. You really you start to think about. You become aware. So what I also have done is none of my social media apps are on the first screen of my phone.
Yeah, we both
I said
have
this to you the other day. Like I need to scroll. So
I have it in a folder.
Yeah, so it's even tucked away. But that helps.
Yeah.
So you don't realise how often you'll just pick up and
it's
click.
The first.
And that's what I noticed that. And I went, no, this isn't good. Get that to so fuck bad. Right at the back of my phone.
So bad. I know.
So if you are caught in a doom scrolling hole though, my top advice would be put your phone, literally just count down, phone down, walk away and go and do something without your phone there. Even sometimes if I've been doom scrolling, I'll be like looking about my flat. Okay, a washing needs put away. Okay, those dishes need done. I'll be like, give myself tasks to do. If I'm looking for something else to do, see if everything's done, I'm just chilling, and that's when we want to doom scroll, right? I will actively, again, put the phone away because I've been tempted before and I've been swayed. I'll be like, I'll just read a wee book on my phone, just listening to a wee audio on my phone. You don't. You're so distracted. So I'm like, get that away, pick up an actual book, put on YouTube, like to watch something, put on something, and keep your phone in like a different room, put it in charge, put it away.
That's another thing when you charge your phone. Don't charge it next to you.
Yeah.
Charge it away from you.
Charge it away. And just get that freedom away from it. It's like we're chained to them.
If you're looking for something to relax, so you've been at work, you've been studying or whatever it is, and you need time to relax instead of going on your phone.
Don't say journal and meditate.
Journal and meditate.
Do yoga at home.
Do yoga. Come to our events. Just run a bath, have a shower.
That's it.
Just away from your phone.
Right. But see, in the past, I would never have taken my phone into the bath with me. I've been guilty of that now. And I know people are.
So would I.
A shower, but you can't.
You shower. Some people do. They'll have YouTube on.
Shut
watching,
up.
Yeah.
Right. No.
I know people that do that.
Who does that?
That's addiction.
That's not right.
I know.
People actually take it to the toilet with them. And I
Loads
must say, I don't, right? And I crack up because
common.
People do it.
The majority.
Most people do that. Like, see, when I said that I don't, people ask me, what? I'm like...
I can't do that though because I think of germs.
Yeah, not even that, just that. I'm just like, Jesus Christ,
no,
like,
just
leave it.
I know, it's weird. But I just think...
Yeah, germs. I get that.
Deal with the...
Stinky phone.
Yeah, stinky phone. So if you do that, just think of the stinky phone.
There we go. We've put an ick in your mind.
Yeah, it's Nick. But yeah, think of
self-care things.
Self-care things that you can do.
It's even if it doesn't even need to be that deep. Just watch the telly without your phone.
Yes.
People don't even do that.
People have have 2 screens, 3 screens.
We've spoken about this.
We have. I'm calling out my sister on this one. But I am, because she will have 3 screens on at the same time.
That's really upsetting.
Does my head in.
That upsets me because I'm like, your poor brain is like, going to give me a minute.
Well, I'll watch a movie and there's about 15 screens in the room.
No.
And I'm so overstimulated.
That's like me. See if the telly's on
bing, bing.
and there's a conversation and someone starts blasting TikTok at their phone.
There's so much happening.
Nope.
I have to leave.
Oh,
I leave. Well,
same.
Or I just go on the rug and just do some yoga and try to zone out.
It actually puts me in a bad mood. Like the front of my brain is hurting and not even thinking about it. Like it puts me in such a mood.
My family just laughs at me because I'm just always doing it. I don't even watch the movies anymore.
Yeah.
But
I stretch during the movies.
They're not watching the movie. So yeah, that scunners me.
Hopefully that helps. And by the way, doom scrolling, I have a written rule, and make this boundary for yourself. No phones in bed. Game changer. And that is a massive rule for me, and I never break that boundary with myself. See, if I ever found myself lying in my bed scrolling, I'll give myself into trouble for that. So even that, create a boundary for yourself. Like, okay, I'm only allowed to sit and scroll on my sofa, or if I'm doing something like not lying in bed.
Yeah, and you can start small.
Yeah, start small.
That it can be quite.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very extreme because, do you know what?
Paula is quite extreme.
Read into it though, right? Watch some videos or read into the effects that actually doom scrolling and absorbing that shit first thing in the morning and last thing at night does to your poor brain.
Don't look at your phone first thing in the morning.
Oh,
it's bad for your brain.
Yeah, really, really bad.
I journal first thing in the morning. Sorry to bring journaling up
again.
Here
she goes again.
But I do journal first. I have a journal right next to my bed. She's up and she's journaling even at like 4:30 in the morning.
I love that. That's commitment, mate.
That is commitment.
My first thing I ever do every morning is go to my kettle for a cup of tea.
Well, I journal. It's a very quick journal. That's my wee
cup of tea.
5-minute journal.
Yeah.
And then straight to the kettle.
That's good though, because your brain is actually very active in the morning and comes up with good ideas and very creative. So it's actually good to do that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the question. Right. Hopefully that helps. And if you're sitting there just now listening to us doom scrolling, get off your phone. That's your sign. Get off the phone. Oh, what am I doing? I'm just sliding all these apps off.
What are you doing?
There we go. Look, I've had to scroll away to the end of my phone to get the questions from Instagram. Okay.
Just like a mall lecturing us.
Get off your phone. But listen to us. Okay. Listen, guys. I need to know where we're meeting people at the grand old age of 29. I no longer enjoy just going out to drink. I feel like there needs to be a purpose in it, right? So Wonderbar, live music, up for a boogie.
Yep.
Kitties, live music, up for a boogie.
See, she's even a wellness gal when it comes to going out. There has to be a purpose. When I go out for a drink, there has to be a purpose.
Like, what's the point in just sitting there?
I'm the same.
Because all I'm thinking about is I want to go home for a cup of tea.
We don't like just sitting there.
I don't get that. Like,
dance.
So William was trying to take me into Molly Malone's in town a few weeks ago, and there was nothing going on. It was just pure busy. There was no seats, and he was like, "We'll just stand at the bar."
No.
And I was like, "Sorry, stand at the bar?"
Excuse me?
I was like, "I'm not just going to even stand at a bar."
For what? Like,
that's what I said. And he was like, "For a pint?"
No.
No, it's no fun.
I'm
no
good.
thanks. No, exactly. So obviously I was like, I'll just go up the road for a cup of tea. Thanks. Listen to him, there's loads of places that you can go. It just depends what you're looking for. Well, Nelia's a bit hardcore. They like to go to like actual clubs and stay out all night. Not me.
Out till 6.
Nelia took me to a club and I was very upset.
So
I went down the stairs.
She left within.
I just didn't fit in though. I had my good Burberry coat on, my big pink scarf.
That was an image. That was an image.
This grey dingy club.
If you're watching, she was there just holding her scarf in her bag, like, oh no, I don't fit in.
Like, I'm scared.
I think I'm going up the road.
And I always do like a good Irish goodbyes, they call it. I'm just like, run, see you later. Don't tell him I'm away. But I suppose it is hard. See if you're trying to meet someone.
It actually is hard meeting people.
Yeah.
What, the old fashioned way?
Because I think that's what it used to be. Whereas now people, I think, would be upset if someone comes up to them like in a pub or something.
I find it really hard knowing people's ages.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I really
find it hard figuring that out. I'm like, how old are you? You look older, but you could be.
Yeah.
fucking younger
That is
than
so
me.
true. And that is difficult, actually.
Uh-huh.
Aye.
So, I don't know.
Stick to Hinge.
Honestly, I think that is the way these days. You have to.
Yeah.
Unless you, I don't know.
Are we spoke about this before? Run clubs, apparently, or where
Mate,
people are
I
meeting
know.
people? I don't know if that's true, but
It's no worked for me, but
it's
might
no
for
work
you.
for Nelia, but yeah. I'm sure there's a few all over the place, so
Just
anyone
looking at
can
all the
let us
gals.
know. If anyone has any other recommendations, we can pass it
Right
on,
in.
by the way.
Yeah.
Like, where is everyone going?
Sorry, we can't be more assistants.
We're just like, I don't know.
Hinge.
Hinge, run
Like,
clubs.
you just have to. You have to bite the bullet and just
Yeah.
fucking do it.
So you know this, lassie. Has she been on Hinge?
No. Well, she needs to get on it. I'll get her on it.
You will.
Aye, don't you worry.
Right.
It's a work in progress.
Let's see. I think that was the last of the questions, wasn't it?
Aye.
Did we say three today because we knew that first one was
That
going to be
first one was gonna
long-winded?
be a long one.
Yeah. Okay. Let's call it that because there was
Aye.
one more, but we can take that into the next episode.
Good.
So, and listen, we still have the list. We're working through it. We have the list here.
Working through.
We will get through all of the suggestions that you gave us.
Yep.
And yeah, like we always say, we just keep these girly chat ones nice and light-hearted, just to kind of, because we like to talk about self-help a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just nice to balance it out.
Yeah.
Since we are balanced queens, you know. Okay, well, next episode, we will be doing a wee bit more serious vibes. So we will
Diving
catch you
in.
there. We hope you enjoy. Thank you for sticking around if you're still
Love you,
here.
lassies.
We love yous. See ya. Let's see. Where's my wee red button? Okay, outro.
Outro.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.